Welcome to the very first episode of the Wives Club podcast. Woo! We're so excited to be starting this. I'm Sydney.
I'm Sadie.
I'm Madison.
And I'm MaCall, and we're all best friends, the wives.
And wives.
So in this episode, this is our first episode, we just wanted to talk about how we all met, so you guys can get to know us a little bit better, and kind of straighten out the story. It's funny because we actually don't know the full story, like, super straightened out.
I know, I feel like each of us have, like, our own side, and then we, like, enlighten each other on, like, how it actually happened. So maybe our parents would probably know the story.
Yeah.
Like, if they were listening, they'd be like, that is not what happened.
Exactly.
But this is our version, I guess.
Well, so just to give you a little bit of background before we start going into everything, we wanted to say that we are members of a church called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And that's just important for us to note because it's a big part of our lives, like, big part of our culture. And
how we met.
It just has a lot to do with how we met. Like, I feel like there's a lot of references and stuff.
Yeah, so we'll just got that out of the way so that we could say, like, that's where we're coming from with all of this. So anyway, when MaCall and I are actually sisters.
Woo.
am
MaCall and Madison.
Yeah, sorry, this is Madison. Sisters. I am 2 years older than MaCall, Sydney, and Sadie. But it never feels like that, so.
Yeah, no.
And then I, know, Sadie has a sister my age, but I always feel like she's, way older than me.
That's so true. I feel like Marley's so
And I'm like, oh, yeah, actually, she's my age. And
that's
anyway. But, so, MaCall and I we all grew up in Las Vegas. And when we were, I think we said I was 8 or was I 6?
You were 6, I think, because we were 4. Me and MaCall were 4.
Okay, so back in, what year was that? 2001? Is that what we said?
Yeah.
No idea.
So in 2001, a lot of you probably weren't even alive then. My dad was asked to take charge of a congregation. It's called being a bishop of a single young adult ward. And it was really fun because we're little kids and the young adults
They're
talk to us.
So
Yeah, they were
kids.
so fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
But so my dad has to have counselors that help him out, and he picked Sydney's dad to be his counselor. And so we were always at church things together, the only kids there. And so that's how we kind of started to meet Sydney.
Yeah, and it was really weird when he called him too, because I don't even think your dad knew my dad, did he?
I don't think he did.
I think he just kind of randomly chose him. Maybe someone recommended him or something. But yeah, then we were in the same ward, and it was so much fun. We have so many memories of when people got married, and we would go to their weddings.
Or we were in something called primary, and since we were the only kids, there was 6 of us.
Yeah.
We'd go over to the girl in charge's house, and she'd throw a sleepover for all of us. And so we would just do so many fun things. Yeah.
So then after that, we once we left the ward, my family, I feel like we kind of disconnected,
Well, we didn't really live, we didn't go to elementary school
Yeah, we
together.
didn't live super close, and
we
so
didn't go to middle school
schools.
together.
Yeah.
It wasn't until high school that we saw each other again. But even then, I had my middle school friends. And
we hadn't been friends. So, obviously we knew who each other were, but we weren't, friends. And then I feel like high school is kind of when Sadie comes into the picture.
This is where I come in.
Also, side note, we have baby Miles with us. So here.
Little gurgles, it's not us.
That's because it's Miles.
And he did not want to be left alone.
Yeah.
Oh, he's upset.
Oh, buddy. It's my turn to talk, So yeah, I came to Palo.
But you didn't go to Palo
junior
first.
year. No, I went to a tech school. my freshman year, I went and I was like, oh, I'll do culinary, and that was totally bad.
We thought it was fashion.
I did go to fashion the second. So my freshman year, I did culinary. And I made a pretzel with my friend Sheena, and it was so gross. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm switching my major.
half of a pretzel.
It was so gross. It was oh. And so the next year, my sophomore year, because Marley did fashion, my older sister. And she loved it. And I wasn't really into fashion, but I was like, whatever. I'm not really interested in anything else. So I did fashion, and it was super fun. And then I was just kind of done with the school because it was a tech school, and so there wasn't really like
sports.
Yeah.
Social.
That's the funnest
But
part of high school.
I know, and so I played volleyball in high school, and so I'd go to my zone school and play volleyball.
Barely
there.
remember that.
Your zone school. So
you
like,
played
was that
volleyball?
Palo Verde?
No, it was Desert Oasis.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
That's
So
very
I
far
played-
away from us,
Yeah,
by the way.
it's really far. And so then we moved.
Oh, that's right.
We moved my junior year,
That's
and I was like, I'm not going to Southwest. It was my way out.
Yeah, so then you
I actually was not zoned for Palo.
You cheated?
I cheated.
Was
the
it like
system.
Centennial or
Because
something?
Palo was
No,
the best.
It was Durango.
Ew.
I know.
You got a cheated zone.
So I
variance.
cheated, yep.
Everyone
to Palo.
did that
I
for
know.
Palo.
I know. Well, we're
yeah,
happy.
who, no offense to anyone who went to Durango, but I was not about to go there.
Yeah, no.
So that's where I came in, and I knew you, Sydney.
Well, me and Sadie, I was just telling you, I'm pretty sure we knew each other when we were younger because I think our moms were friends. Like,
Yeah.
with the Willardsons and the Fellows and stuff,
Yeah.
all of those moms were friends, and we would go to, like, the Willows pool. Do you remember doing that? I don't ever remember you being there, but, like, my mom always says, she's like, I was friends with Jamie when we first moved here. So apparently we knew each other, but we became friends just through, like, mutual friends
Uh-huh.
when you came to Palo. And so we started hanging out. And then I feel like all of our friendship really flourished
Yes.
when it was the summer after our junior year. We went
so that was
on
2015, right?
yes,
Yeah.
summer before our senior year, I guess, and we went on a church history tour, and that was like
Yeah.
I don't know how to
So the
explain
church history tour, it was a lady in Las Vegas who basically bought a bus, and she would take kids around our age that were part of the same church to the East Coast for 2 weeks and go to all the church historical sites because that's where our church kind of
But it was also like American
started.
history, so you got to go
Yeah.
to like DC and
It was
New
also a
York.
fun
Yeah.
trip. It was everyone really looked forward to it.
Yeah.
And it was
Minutes.
like all the kids your age, no parents, like it was just so much fun.
And there were kids from other schools too, so it was like really
Yeah.
fun. It was like the whole valley.
Oh, and I was gonna say, OMG, that's right.
That's right.
Oh, that'll be a different episode.
Yeah.
So we were all roommates. Me,
Should we
Sadie,
tell the
and
story of
Sydney.
how we became roommates?
Okay, but
I
I
don't
also
even
wasn't
remember
there.
it though.
Yeah,
Madison.
Madison.
Madison was graduating.
older.
I'm already at
Madison's the
school.
old
I
lady.
was already at
But
college.
you went on church history tour.
I did, just
But
with
just-
different people.
Yeah, 'cause you were older. And you had a great time.
It was great.
I don't even remember how we became roommates though.
Well,
Sydney.
me and Sadie were like, okay, we're going at the same week, like, let's be roommates. And then our other friend, Madeline. And then I think we needed a fourth because there were 4 roommates in a room. So I feel
Yeah.
like we needed a fourth.
And that's
And
where I came in.
me and MaCall weren't really friends. Like, we obviously knew who each other were. And, like,
We were
went to this-
acquaintances.
Yeah.
We had a class together.
Yeah, and I think I just randomly was like, do you want to be our roommate on church history tour? And
Because my friends, like my immediate high school friends, were not part of the church. So they weren't going to go on this church history tour with
Yeah.
me. Like, not like they were going to be my
But
roommates.
didn't you like really want to go? And you're like,
Yeah, I really wanted to go.
I
And so
don't know
then
who
Sid
to
was
go.
like,
but you didn't know how to go with.
yeah, she was like, you should be our roommate. And we were like, oh, that'd be so fun. I don't know.
I
It just
know.
kind of
Yeah,
like,
and I didn't
naturally
know.
fell
MaCall and I
into it.
didn't know. I didn't even know. If
Yeah, because you had just gone to Palo that year. And again, my immediate friends were like not in the same circle. So I like was not even anyway.
I'm trying to think of any crazy
Yeah.
stories from that trip. Do you have any crazy stories?
So
from that
crazy.
trip?
From church history tour.
Every story is a crazy.
Bologna
The
sandwich.
bologna sandwich. Alex Gore. You're never
I
going
feel
to
like
listen to this.
So
but
many inside jokes came
So
from
many.
that trip.
We visited New York, D.C., Niagara Falls, Philadelphia, Amish countryside.
Yeah, and Nauvoo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the important church sites. I guess I keep forgetting.
But I feel like as like a high schooler, that was just like
It was
the
so much
funnest
fun.
thing ever to just like be staying in different hotels and
A
like
different
finding
hotel
different
every
places to
night.
eat and like going to like the crappy hotel hot tubs and like.
We
There's
had
some
to-
sketchy parts
Oh,
over
yeah.
there.
We had
like
to-
in
And
Missouri.
we did stay in nice hotels.
No, they weren't nice. And we had to cross a freeway to get to that
That was-
restaurant
No.
one time.
Okay, we have to tell this story. So it's 2 weeks long, and I feel like in high school Sadie had some like mysterious medical issues.
You did.
Like, I feel like you were celiac, but you didn't know.
Oh yeah, I was celiac, but I didn't know I was celiac.
So you were like, I feel like you were kind of struggling. Like you would like get sick randomly, and you didn't really know like what was happening. And we were at Carthage jail. And
that was because my endometriosis.
Yeah. So she also has endometriosis. But we're at Carthage jail, and it's like really small. Like you had to climb up. It's an old building. Yeah, really old. So there's like a really small staircase that goes up. And Sadie was like, before we went up into like the main part, she was like kind of feeling dizzy, but she's like, no, like I want to go. Like,
because I had really bad cramps.
Yeah.
So it was that time of month, and so
yeah,
you
never feel having a lot of issues.
You couldn't get your surgery because you were on the tour, right? Like you needed surgery for your endometriosis.
Well,
and I got it the next summer. So
and I also feel like we always kind of felt crappy on that trip anyway because we were eating like crap.
Whatever we could. Like we didn't have a
fast
choice.
food
there's like only fast food.
Like KFC though.
Yeah, like kind of gross.
Good.
So I feel like we just always kind of felt like gross.
We were traveling nonstop.
Yeah. So anyway, we're in like this small part, and they're like playing the Joseph Smith like audio.
And it's like a really spiritual moment.
Really spiritual. Like everyone's like quiet and like kind of like meditating, and Sadie literally just faints into my lap, like falls face first down into my lap, and we're all like freaking out. So then we like these men like carry her down the stairs. It was this like whole dramatic thing. Remember, you got carried onto the bus.
You did. And we like fed you like saltine crackers.
So she's like all weak and sick, and we like
oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah, we go back to the hotel.
Yes.
And then like that night I feel like we had like free time or something. Like we were on our own for dinner. Sometimes they would like feed us meals all together, but I think that night we were on our own.
Yeah.
And Sadie is like, okay, like we wanted to get her food and so we're getting ready to go get food, and we're like walking outside. And she just sprints like up this giant hill out of nowhere.
A meadow.
She'd been like laying down like all sick all day.
In like a fetal position. And she's just frolicking in this meadow and like crossing over a freeway to get to this restaurant.
Oh my gosh, it was like, we were like, she was faking. Oh my gosh.
All I have to say is that the cramps were gone, and I felt 100 times better.
You were blessed.
It was so funny.
I was blessed.
Yeah,
anyway,
it was so funny.
So that's CHT, but
I'm sure there's
fast
a zillion more
forward
stories.
like 2 years, we all decided to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Madison's back in. I've just been sitting here.
Sorry, Madison.
It's my turn.
I just like...
So you were already at BYU.
Yeah, so I went to BYU, Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah. And I had already been there for 2 years, and again, with our church, like, people go on these missions around the world to, like, preach the gospel, and all my girlfriends decided they wanted to go out, and I was like, well, I really don't want to go. And so
Mission wasn't exactly in the cards.
None
for
of
any
us really did that.
Yeah.
So, literally, all of my friends that I roomed with freshman year were like, oh my gosh, I'm going on a mission. And I was like, great, who am I going to room with anymore? So, it came to my junior year was coming up, and my dad really wanted MaCall to come live with me because she was going to go to UVU, which is next to BYU. And I was like, she can be my roommate. He was just like nervous because he wanted her to live on campus housing, but not at UVU because my dad just
UVU doesn't even have on campus
housing.
housing.
I kind of forgot about that. Well, anyway, so I was like, she can come live with me. It'll be so fun. Like, we'll get close again because we weren't that close in high school.
That's a different
another episode.
But she was like, yeah, I actually should ask around because a couple of her friends were also going to go up there. Yeah, and had nowhere to go. So then how did you invite like Sid to come in with us?
Well, since we roomed for a church history tour, we all honestly, weirdly enough, like me, MaCall, and like one other girl were the only ones from our high school that were going to UVU.
Yeah, you guys
there were like a
went
few
to
other
Utah or something.
Yeah, there were a few other girls that went to BYU, but a lot of them went summer term, so they were like weren't coming up in the fall. The same
and I was
time
planning to go to UVU.
I know, which also I feel like we should save for another episode, or like when you switch.
Well, we
but you were moving up to
about
Provo too, and
Yeah.
so we were all like, okay, like let's just room together again, and then
It just
I don't know, it just kind of happened.
Yeah,
and
it
I
just
don't really remember the
like
details.
we were always in classes together, and I don't know, it just kind of fell into place. Like, hey, do you want a room together?
Yeah.
Just
And I was like kind of nervous at first. Not nervous, like scared of them, but I was like, oh, like freshmen. Do I really want to live with freshmen again? Like I'm in the middle of.
That'd be
well,
hard.
through this, we also had Sadie. So did you say that? Like, it wasn't just me and Sid deciding. It was like, it's me and Sid, and let's bring
Yeah,
Sadie.
like I'd be the only one that was like
it was
older.
4 rooms, so.
Yeah, but
Madison was
and
older
so
than
it was
us.
really funny because I didn't know Sadie at all, and I was like, she's cute. I mean, like she seems fun.
Thanks.
But when
Thanks.
we have a note on here, we put mysterious Sadie. Because when she first moved up with us,
Oh yeah.
she was
Maria
like
hated
so
us, low-key.
mysterious.
No, because Marley was up here, and
You did hang out with Marley a lot. I kind of forgot
that's
about
when
that.
we
forgot about
that's
that.
when we were hanging out. Is Marley and I were hanging out a lot, and you guys would go out and party. And I was like, I don't know if that's
You also,
my scene,
I was going
to
to
be
say, to give
honest.
you the benefit of the doubt, you had school so early in the morning.
Yeah, I went to hair school, and so I went Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturdays.
Yeah, that was.
Which
That was
sucked,
hard for Friday
because
night.
I
Do anything on
couldn't do
Friday
anything
night,
on
yeah.
Friday,
And then Saturday night
you
were
guys hung
dead.
out, yeah.
Anyway, so we were just saying that it was so funny because when we first became friends all together, like
It took a minute definitely to adjust,
Yeah.
I feel like.
But like Sid, it was like automatic, like, oh, like the 3 of us went and did stuff with the boys in our area, like that lived there, and they'd be like, where's your other roommate Sadie? And we're like, she kind of just like
But then,
shakes to herself.
but then when she started coming out with us, every boy would be
Oh
like,
my
oh.
gosh.
wait, who's your blonde roommate?
Yes.
Like, who's the blonde
None
roommate?
of us are blonde,
We're all
just
brunette
Sadie.
except for Sadie. Blonde hair, blue
Blue
eyes,
eyes.
just tall, like gorgeous. Like
Yeah.
even my husband. This is a different episode, but even my husband had a crush on Sadie when he first met her.
when she played volleyball.
When he wasn't my husband.
like,
He
wow,
would
she's
die
good.
if you were here right now and you said that.
No, he admits to it.
We have so many crazy
And then we
stories
were just
too of when we were
roommates
roommates.
for
We
2
had
years.
the best time
Yes.
in the
It
world.
was so fun.
Oh.
I still call you guys roommates.
Yeah, our group text
When
is
people-
still called
yeah.
roommates.
When people are like, oh, where are you going? I'm like, I'm gonna go hang out with my roommates. And they give me a look and like, well, they used to
They
be
were
my
roommates.
We don't live together
We
now,
don't, yeah.
but we're all married.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of why we called it the Wives Club, because we were all friends for 2 years at college, and then we all got married within, was it a year of each other?
Yeah.
MaCall
Speaking
got
of
married
which,
first.
it's Madison's 2-year anniversary
Woo!
today. Yeah, we all
Thanks.
got married. I
Within
got
a
married
year.
first in
And then-
2017,
In
and
June.
who got married last? Sydney?
Yeah,
in
June of the next year.
2018. So all within a year we got married.
And so our husbands just kind of had to be friends with her. And we hang out all the
Whether they
time.
like it or not.
And they like each
No,
other.
they do.
They get along.
And we also wanted to do it too because our Marco Polo group text is called the Wives Club, and we
Yes.
talk on that every single day. I think we have for like the last 2 years.
Yes.
Like
literally every single day, all day long.
all day.
We
Even
just
if
Marco
it's just
Polo
like,
each other.
hey, I'm doing this. Hope you guys have a good day.
It's literally that.
Literally every single day, and we have tons of conversations
Oh,
on
yeah.
there about literally everything,
Yeah.
being a wife and being
Just-
a friend and a
yeah.
sister.
Like, what are you
and-
guys making for dinner tonight? It's
Yeah.
You know.
And we just were saying how, like, we feel that not this podcast, but our Marco Polo has been so helpful for, like, all the things we go through as wives and, like, as coming into the adult life.
Mothers.
Yeah.
That we talked about, like, things that you're kind of afraid to talk about
Yeah,
Yes.
in public. Like, I don't know. So we were like, we should make a podcast where we talk about these things and girls can also feel like, oh, I'm going through that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
This
a
is-
friend they can talk to.
Yeah, so we're a
Because
little
even when we're
club.
apart, it's so nice to just like we just
Relate
say
to
whatever we
relate.
want.
That's
Like
the
and,
word.
and
Like,
there's
relate.
always
We're not
someone-
afraid to get on and be like, my husband's driving me crazy.
And I'm like, mine too.
like, we're not
Just
afraid to
kidding.
admit to things of that. so.
Or like gross girl things like Sadie's cramps or like
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else. I was like, what are you going out with this?
Sadie's bowel movements.
she's not afraid to talk about that.
Also, Sadie going to hair school was like one of the best things that ever happened to any of us living
Yes.
with her.
Oh.
We got all the free massages and facials,
You had to pass stuff off.
Eyelash
haircuts.
extensions.
Eyelash extensions was the best.
That was so fun.
I know.
That was
Yeah.
really fun.
Also, egg Russian roulette.
Oh.
It's like,
Yeah.
If you've
That
ever
was my
seen Jimmy
favorite.
Fallon does all those different segments, there's one called Egg Russian Roulette where some of the eggs are boiled and some of them are raw. And so you take them to someone's head and you smash it to see if it
Oh man, that's such a
explodes.
fun
We
game.
should
And
do
we
it
were like, let's
family
do
style.
when
it.
you do
Do
it
you want to
family
do egg
style.
Russian roulette?
We actually have a video of this. Maybe we could like put it on our. We have an Instagram,
We should
guys.
put it on our Instagram.
Yeah, we should.
We're
Follow
going.
us on Instagram. Shameless plug.
The Wives Club podcast.
Yep.
Anyway, well, yeah. I feel
So-
like we can talk about some of our other stories and like another.
A lot
one.
of our stories have to do with like dating and stuff like that, which
Boys and-
was so fun to like be together, doing all of that.
Mhm. But yeah, this was just a little intro. Get to know
Yeah.
us. I'm sure the majority of you already know at least
I
one
know.
of us.
the 10 of
But
you that
just
are listening.
Kind of how,
Seriously.
just kind of how we met and why we wanted to do this podcast.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's just gonna be fun. It's just a club, exclusively an exclusive club.
It's
Yeah.
super.
We just have been told so many times, like, we always feel like we're not exclusive, us four girls, but people will be like, I feel like your group is just so exclusive.
It's
I said that
not.
to Chris the other day, and he was like, "What are you talking about? It is very exclusive."
We
We're just so close.
So we're saying that
We're so close. We've been through so much, and it's been so long that
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our way of not being
So,
exclusive.
yeah,
we're
we're s-
opening
we're
our
opening
thoughts and discussions.
So
of
if you
the
want to
world.
join the club,
we're
Listen.
exclusive club, but we're inexclusive to listen to.
Yep.
There you go.
But you can also ask questions, and we're not exclusive.
We're
Yeah.
not exclusive.
We're really excited though we have a lot of ideas for episodes,
Oh,
and
yes.
so we're
Good things
excited to get things going.
They
Big
just-
things coming.
record a bunch and
totally.
Just hang out. This is literally what we do on a
When we
normal
hang
basis.
out.
So we're like, let's just press record.
Yeah.
Like 2-3 hours though. We're cutting this short.
Yeah,
I
this
know.
is only gonna be like
Well, I was
30
gonna say,
minutes.
even when we come over, like if we all hang out with our husbands, we'll be like, let's play games, and then like
We just
sometimes,
2 hours
yeah,
later.
sometimes
Yeah.
we do play games, but a lot of times it just ends up being
us talking.
us talking for hours and hours and hours. So anyway,
Anyway,
that is the end of episode 1.
Okay, should we tell them about like our Instagram and stuff, or like
Yeah, so
so
subscribe
subscribe.
on the Apple Podcast app,
Follow along the journey.
to
Yeah.
Wives Club podcast?
Wives Club.
and then it's that on Instagram too. So
Find it. And there's 4 little silhouettes of us.
We're
Just-
cute.
We're cute.
yeah. Okay, thanks for listening.
Bye.